What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Shaky Block Masterclass. I'm gonna teach y'all everything there is to know about Shaky Block. First up, what is Shaky Block? Shaky Block is when two things happen to you. One, you miss a parry on a move, and two, that move hits you. Now, when that move hits you, you get put in something known as hit stun. Hit stun means you cannot dodge or move during the time that you're in hit stun from the attack that hits you. So now you're in a state where your parry is on cooldown, you cannot dodge, and you cannot move. The only one of the defensive options you really have is to block. And this is why it's called Shaky Block, as when you're in this state, you cannot block. Now, in this clip I'm finding top 50, I'm going to show y'all what Shaky Block looks like. Like right here, 3, 2, 1, pause. Now, as you can see, I just hit him with Astral Wind, which hit him. He's in hit stun now, and I can combo extend, and here you can show the rest of the clip. As you can see, due to missing the parry on Astral Wind, I was able to abuse Shaky Block and fully combo him to death, which is what I'll show you in the next chapter. How to abuse Shaky Block. Starting off, a basic combo y'all can do is M1, M1, Monitor Feint, M1, M1. That is basic Shaky Block. If y'all see my TikTok, that is a very good combo against freshie players, because once they miss the parry on their M1, you have another M1 for free. Then their parry is back on cooldown so they can use it, which is why you feint to get rid of it. Now, veteran players will be able to predict your feint, and they would just simply won't react to it because it's kind of obvious. And instead, what you can do is just use the mantra raw after two M1s, especially if it's a fast mantra like Exhaustion Strike or Shoulder Bash. And then after that, you can then feint again, which will mix up even really good players. And even like God Seekers, like, and when I fight like God Seekers, like let's say Kame or something, I'll do M1, M1, mantra feint M1. That usually will get him because he won't react to the second feint. But for some people, there are people that will just parry right after the 2 M1s. So it's really just a 50-50 depending on your opponent's playstyle. So you just have to watch out for what they're doing. Shit, that was a voice crack, huh? But as well as your Shaky Block does not have to be so 2 M1s, Monitor Feint 2 M1s, because that's kind of basic, right? It's vanilla. It can be whenever you like hit them and you notice that they like don't have a parry. So for example, you got a lucky M1 on them and they didn't react to it, so they didn't miss a parry, but they're still in hit stun, so you can still feint away their parry and then continue the combo. So as long as they are in hit stun from an M1 or a mantra, you can feint away their parry and continue a Shaky Block combo. You can also exchange a feint for guard breaks, and some people will fall for guard breaks at the intervals of parries. But yeah, now I'm gonna show y'all how to counter the Shaky Block combos. How to counter les Shaky Blockos. Alright bro, how to counter Shaky Block. I low-key went over a little bit in the last chapter, but I'm going a little bit more in depth. As I said a little bit, there are two options while you are getting Shaky Block combo. You could A, ignore the feint, or B, react to the feint. Now, as I told you, the basic Shaky Block combo would be M1, M1, Monitor Feint, M1. So in lower elo, it might be better for you to not react to the feint. But when you fight better players like God Seekers or top 50s, they will be able to do that advanced Shaky Block that I touched on the previous chapter. So you would have to react, you'd have to predict parry like right after 2 M1s. But the way to get around this 50-50 type of mindset is basically just watch your opponent play. It's literally pure adaptability. Once you notice how they do their Shaky Block combos, when they do it, it's pretty easy to understand when they're gonna feint and when they're not, so you can predict that shit. It does take time, but that is the hardcore truth on how to counter it. Behind the block, Shaky Block. So first up, I'm gonna tell y'all how to do behind the blocks. What you basically want to do is you want to M1 cancel your M1 with a mantra, walk behind them, as you can see right here. And that was basically how you do behind the blocks. But as you can see, they do get hit. But when you do get hit by behind the block, your parry is off cooldown, which allows them to parry the next attack. So it isn't the same, but I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all can do. So after you land a hit behind the block, you can either do a guard break because they're forced to predict parry after it, or you can mantra feint after you land it behind the block, which will continue your Shaky Block combo, which is a very rare thing I see in Chime and very, very good. and it's really hard to learn. So if y'all can learn it, bro, first up, behind the blocks, which are already really hard to do, and then you can combo extend on them with Shaky Block. How to increase your Shaky Block. So basically, when you land an M1, they're in Shaky Block for a certain duration, and depending on how quickly you M1 them is how quickly the duration will increase. But if you delay your M1 on the medium weapon, for example, that has extended amount of Shaky Block, you can continue your Shaky Block combos longer and have more time to create them. A player known as Elite LRM, he was telling me about this, that props to him, but when you're on medium, you can delay your M1s just a tiny bit to increase the amount of Shaky Block you have to maximize the benefit you get from each M1. Next up, different types of Shaky Block. Alright, but basically, due to the last thing I said, you're probably asking, what do you mean medium has more Shaky Block than other weapons? So that's what I mean with different types of Shaky Block. Because each weapon type has more Shaky Block and it's determined by how fast the weapon swings. So the faster the weapon swings means the less Shaky Block it has, meaning heavy has the most Shaky Block. You can't really abuse it though because of its slow swing speed, so you have to do more unique combos in order to extend. And for medium has the baseline of Shaky Block. You can do all the combos in the video and it works good. Same with fist. Dagger has the least amount of Shaky Block, so you can't really pull them off on that. You need to be really good to pull that off. But hey, this is the end of the video, bro. Hopefully y'all learned about Shaky Block and everything y'all need to know, bro. This is a masterclass, literally everything from a God Seeker. Hey, but if y'all want, join the Discord, like and sub, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one.